Our sick police force, the Illawarra, in chronic condition. School road safety concerns continue to mount. And the Hawks finish fourth and now target the 36ers.
News Late Edition with Geoff Phillips.
Good evening. Lake Illawarra and Wollongong Police Commands are key players in a growing state row over police sick leave and numbers. Critics say the issue threatens community security and police force morale.
The issues of police numbers, sick and stress leave had the Police Minister and his Senior Deputy Commissioner looking for a med-cert today.
By the Commissioner's decision. Coming up next on Win News, a warning as the flu season approaches and remembering the Bulli mine disaster. The 115th anniversary of the Bulli mine disaster has been marked by a special memorial service honouring those who lost their lives.
81 men and boys lost their lives in the 1879 mine disaster at Bulli. Sean Burns, Win News.
The stock market followed the Dow Jones down, the All Ordinaries closing 8 points lower. BHP lost 17 cents to close at $11.21. AMP shed 8 cents to 19.06. Telstra was up 1 cent to $5.28. The unlisted IMB, no change, solid at $3.10. Now with a big grin on his face, sport is next with Matt Russell and a happy finish for the Hawks, Matt.
Geoff, now the playoffs begin. Also the Wolves beaten and the little man making the big plays for St George Illawarra. The Dragons will be without second rower Lance Thompson for 4 to 6 weeks after he tore a quadricep muscle in yesterday's 24-16 win over Penrith. Halfback Willie Peters again starred for the Dragons, collecting his second Players Player award in as many weeks.
The Dragons travelled to Penrith chasing their first competition victory, and it wasn't the start they'd hoped for.
Size Produce Stakes next Monday. If I keep watching, will they win those races?
The look on B. Murray's face says it all. All the weather details after the break. Then Goulburn turns Cub capital. A late dose of summer again today, but there is rain on the way. To the satellite photo, cloud is approaching the far south ahead of a trough in the west of the state and an upper air disturbance southwest of Adelaide. Tomorrow the trough should remain over the inland as the upper air disturbance moves into the west. Cloud is expected to increase across most of the state with rain and isolated thunderstorms spreading east. Temperature-wise, Wollongong and Bowral both got to 26 degrees, Nowra hit 27, 24 degrees for Ulladulla and Maria, 23 at Narooma. The best was Bega with 29, Merimbula top 25. The forecast for the Illawarra and the Highlands, rain and isolated thunderstorms developing. It will be warm with fresh north to northeasterly winds. Looking ahead, rain and isolated thunderstorms through until Friday. For the south coast, rain periods and isolated thunderstorms, a mild to warm day with moderate northwest to northerly winds swinging around to the south direction later. On the waters, seas running at 1 to 2 metres on a 1 metre swell, with the first tide tomorrow a low at 12:33, the first high of the day just before 7. Temperature-wise, 16 in Wollongong overnight to a top of 26, the Highlands 11 to 22 and the Shoalhaven 13 to 26, Bateman's Bay 13 to 24, similar in Bega 13 to 25. More than 700 Cub Scouts from across the state have spent the weekend enjoying the wild, wild west during their biannual Cubberette.
Managing 3 days of activities for hundreds of 8 to 11-year-olds is no... Alan Clark, Win News.
That is good. You and me equals us. And that is the news from across the region for this Monday night. I'm Geoff Phillips from the Win News team. Good night.
This has been a Win News presentation from Australia's largest regional television network.